Welcome everyone to our masterclass on embracing your energy body. First, I want you to take a look at this picture. What you're seeing here is a picture of the aura of a leaf. This is done using a method called Kirlian photography. Kirlian photography is a tool that allows us to see the energy body around living things. That leaf there has been plucked from a tree, and its energy body will stay with it for a few hours before the leaf loses life. We are living, breathing things, and so this energy body, the essence of life itself, is all around us. And throughout history, certain people have learned to leverage this energy body in truly remarkable ways. When you think of saints, when you think of spiritual teachers and healers and holy men and women, these were individuals who used their energy body. Have you ever seen pictures of old churches in Europe? You'll notice that in these pictures, behind the head of saints, there would be a golden disc. This golden disc is actually a representation of the energy body, what is often called the aura. You see these holy men and women, when they walked into a room, when their disciples came to them, they would notice that these people would glow. And that's why in these old European wood carvings and paintings of truly spiritual people, you see that disc. Now, what have I told you? That all of us have this energy, that all of us can use this energy. This is something that we're beginning to discover in our new age of spirituality. My name is Vishen Lakhiani. I'm the founder of the world's biggest school of personal transformation, Mind Valley. Mind Valley spans the entire planet. We have students in 200 countries, and we put out the best programs in every category of human transformation. In a given year, we get close to 3,000 teachers applying to teach on the Mind Valley platform. My job and the job of my team is to identify the true greatest teachers in the world and to produce life-changing programs with them. In this masterclass, you're going to learn from one of those teachers. Why is this topic important right now? 3 reasons. First, moving from struggle to ease. As I mentioned earlier, as the founder of Mind Valley, I travel the world to find, meet, connect with spiritual teachers across the planet. And the one thing all of them have in common, when I ask them the question, what does it mean to be spiritual, is this. They say, to be spiritual simply means life becomes easy. Life becomes easy because your life is filled with synchronicities, with coincidences. Good things happen to you. Good people are drawn to you. The bad seems to steer away from you. When you learn to program energy, you move from struggle to ease. And so many people right now are going through some struggle. Perhaps you are. It could be a struggle in relationships, in health, in income. When you learn the tools of duality, your life moves from struggle to ease. The second reason is accessing guidance and synchronicity. When you learn to live the world as a dualistic being, insights, ideas, aha moments flow to you. But not just intuitive insights, you find yourself in the right place at the right time. There's a word for that, synchronicity. It's hard to explain how it happens, but you simply seem to have insights and guidance that make you lucky. And the third reason why this is such a good time right now to learn the tools of duality is because so many of us out there desire to enhance our spirituality. And people ask me this question all the time. How do I grow in my spirituality? What you're about to learn is a pathway to get there from one of the world's leading teachers, Jeffrey Allen. And this is a step-by-step pathway, just a few minutes a day, that is directly applicable to life. And this brings us to Jeffrey Allen. If you go to stories.mindvalley.com and search for Jeffrey Allen's program Duality, you'll see there are close to 500 case studies of lives changed because of this program. And the reason for this is because this program creates such a massive transformation in people's lives. Now, what you're experiencing is a free masterclass. And in our free masterclass, you always walk away with a transformation. Our job is not just to introduce you to the possibilities of Jeffrey Allen's work and the program Duality, but to give you a transformation directly here today. Jeffrey is going to be joining us shortly, and he's going to be playing full out with you. He's going to take you through 4 powerful lessons to teach you how to get started and begin using energy in your day-to-day life. Even if you're an advanced practitioner, some of the ideas you're going to learn here are going to be new. Jeffrey is going to be giving you his best. And so what I want to ask is that you give us your best. What this means is the lessons here are going to be valuable, folks. So put aside your mobile phone, turn off your Facebook or your WhatsApp or your Skype notifications, because we need you to be truly focused. We're going to be going deep, and we're going to be taking you through a truly transparent engineer by training. And you're going to learn how he went from becoming an engineer to a master healer. He's one of the most powerful teachers of energy work in the world. His program Duality, first produced in 2016 on Mindvalley, went on to become one of Mindvalley's best rated and best selling programs. In 2021, we refreshed and updated the Duality program with Jeffrey's newest teachings and ideas. Over 1 million people have enrolled and learned from Jeffrey's programs on Mindvalley, including this masterclass. Jeffrey Allen has served on the board of the directors of the Psychic Horizon Center in Boulder, Colorado, where he completed clairvoyant training and earned a teacher's certification. He has pursued graduate studies with leading clairvoyants, healers, and spiritual teachers in the United States, including Michael Tamura and Nassim Haramein. He's the co-founder of the Spirit Mind Living Inc. and Oneness Company, with 20 years experience teaching clairvoyance, healing, and mediumship studies in the United States, Europe, and Japan. Jeffrey is an American who resides in Tokyo, Japan. And Jeffrey is one of my favorite teachers. And every time I see him, I never miss an opportunity to learn another aspect of his remarkable energy practice, so that myself included and all of us can make life easier and can bend reality so we can move towards our mission and our purpose in this world. With that, let's welcome on set Jeffrey Allen. Jeffrey, welcome to Mindvalley.
Hey, Vision.
Multiple spiritual teachers. These are world-class legendary teachers from China to the United States. The one thing in common is they all said, life becomes easy. Now, if you think you're in the right place to start making life easy for you, stay tuned, because we're now about to go into our training. So Jeffrey, what is the first thing that our audience here needs to understand?
So the first thing you need to understand is that energy always comes first. Now, this may seem a little strange because we're trained to work in the physical world. We're trained to work with things we can see and touch and feel. This is kind of our normal world. So when you want to make a change, usually you think about, what are the steps I need to take in the physical world to make that happen? But those things come later. What you need to do is work on the energy first. As I've told you with my story, if you work on the energy, get clarity, clear your fears, and kind of energize that future, the physical world will line up with the energy. And that's actually what we call synchronicity, is the physical world following the energy. So if you're not getting the things you want in life, if you're not finding that relationship or the job you want or the happiness you want, it's not because you're not doing enough things in the physical world. You're probably doing that fine. What you're probably not doing is looking at the energy world first. And so what I want to show you today is how to look at the energy first. We'll go through some exercises where you do that so that you can see this amazing synchronicity as things line up for you automatically. It really does make life so much more fun and so much more exciting than living the old way.
And of course, why energy work is so important is because once we learn this, we also get to bring harmony to all our relationships. So when you learn energy work, you're able to bring solutions, synchronicities, healing, balance to your relationship with everyone in your life. And when groups of people do it, which is why I'm so excited about what we're doing with Mindvalley, but when mass groups of people do it, we're able to bring solutions to planetary-wide problems. We're able to find ways where we can create abundance on the planet without costing the planet resources or health, while protecting the environment and creating a better situation for all life.
Exactly, Vishen. That's totally true.
Yet at the same time, our school is not teaching this to us. And I know even the people who are here in this masterclass, some people might be wondering, how powerful really is this? Is Jeffrey an outlier, or can anyone learn this? So before we go into the lesson, it's important that we first remove any belief block that you have towards your ability to tap into energy. Now, the first belief block is simply this: is energy work real? Jeffrey?
Yeah, this is very common for people to wonder, is energy work real? And I have to admit, if you're just listening to somebody's stories about energy, they're my stories or somebody else's, for you, it's just stories. For it to become real for you, you have to have a real, tangible experience. And this is why when people ask me, what does it feel like to feel energy? I always say, well, let me just tune you up so you can feel energy right now. And we're going to do this for you in a minute. And then you can tell me what energy feels like. Because when you have an experience, it's real for you. And I can say I've taught energy, healing, and intuition all around the world, and everybody can do it. Everybody's intuitive. Everybody's a healer. It's something that's built into us when we're born. So even if you don't know you have these abilities yet, just kind of open your mind to that possibility and try it out today and find out for yourself.
And here you can see multiple case studies of people who did try it out and saw incredible results. Nicoleta from Romania spoke about how she started being able to see her energy patterns. Eric from Barcelona spoke about how his life changed in a matter of 3 days. Mafon Itikarin, who's a tax lawyer in Houston, spoke about the massive shift she experienced upon taking Duality. Now, the second thing that prevents us from going forward is the belief, I am not intuitive, or I am not a healer. Jeffrey?
Yeah, it's true, Vishen. Many people have that feeling like, I'm not intuitive, I'm not a healer, or somebody else can do this. They have some special skills or talents. But like I mentioned, you are a healer too. You are intuitive. In fact, you've probably been using your intuition and your energy healing abilities sort of subconsciously. And when I work with students, I teach them how to do this consciously. Because when you can bring it out of the unconscious and into the conscious, things get so much more powerful. And that's when you start to really feel like, wow, this is real and I can do it too. It's amazing.
Very true. Check out this story by Deanna Cobden from the USA. She was amazed at just how easy it was. And one of the things that we see in the hundreds of case studies we get on Jeffrey Allen's Duality program is people who never thought they could do it suddenly experience it within days of starting the program. Now, the third one is that, yes, I can experience and feel energy, but it's impractical. Surely there's no way I can bring this to my law practice or my entrepreneurial business. Jeffrey?
Yeah, this is pretty common. So a lot of times we have this idea that what we're doing for our career in particular is something to do with the mind only. Just like me, I was an engineer. But I can tell you, even though I had these two parallel paths where I was in the energy world and I was in the engineering world, for me, I always saw it as something that was together. So when I was at work, I was working on the energy in meetings. And when I was on the bus or in a train, I was working on the energy of the communication. Or if I was driving my car, I was looking at which is the best way to go energetically. Even if I was eating dinner at a restaurant, I was always looking at the energy, which is the thing that's going to get me the health I want, or what's the thing that's going to bring me the connections I want. And it's actually something that my friends told me was a little bit unique about me, that I didn't ever wonder, can I apply energy here? I just tried it. So nobody told me how to work the energy in meetings, but when I just tried it, mostly because I was bored in the meetings, I noticed, oh, I can really influence things. If I ground the room, everybody calms down. If people are fighting, I can clear the energy and help them get along, even if I don't say a word. In fact, this one was kind of funny because my boss knew I was doing energy work, and she started scheduling me to fly out to meetings. And at one point I said, why is my schedule full of meetings? I'm not even doing anything. And she said, but you are. If you're in the meeting, sitting in the back bored, everybody gets along. Groups that were fighting before suddenly can work together. That's why I'm putting you in all these meetings. So you have to be a little careful. You don't want to get too good at something you don't want to do.
That's so cool. It explains why before you take the stage, you're always doing some energy work on the room, and then the audience just absolutely loves you. So here are a couple of case studies of this. Adrienne Cobb, entrepreneur, Portland, United States, spoke about how she now uses the techniques from Duality every single day in her business. Attila Telkis, who's a coach from Hungary, spoke about how as he started using this, his relationships improved. People, including his coaching clients, enjoyed being in his presence more. There's something to that. When you do energy work, people love being in your presence. You start hearing compliments such as, I don't know why, but I love having you around. It's a really, really beautiful feeling. Now, what I want you to know if you're watching this masterclass is you don't have to check into a monastery for 20 years. You don't have to meditate on a cushion for like 12 hours a day for 7 days. The way you learn through Jeffrey is through the Mind Valley method, which means tiny upgrades to your belief system, practices that you can instantly apply, and learning as a community. And so if you desire to get to this level, you will get there within 1 month. In this masterclass, you're already going to learn tools you can directly apply. But for those of you who want to be able to use energy reliably in your life to make life easy, to bring synchronicities, guidance, to have a spark and light up a room when you walk in, you're going to be able to get there through our Duality program. And who knows, one day we may be reading out your case study on a future masterclass.
Yeah, that's great, Vishen. And as you're saying that, there's one more thing I wanted to touch on, which is, when I tell my stories, it may sound like I'm sort of just getting the things that are good for me, right? So I'm changing energy to get something that's good for me. But the reason why I was able to do these things is in my heart, I wanted to help more people, right? So in the big picture, I'm trying to do something that's going to help others in their lives and make the world a better place. So if that's your intention, which I believe it is for all of us deep down, then it's very easy to align with that energy. If I was using the same tools trying to create some damage or harm things or just for my own personal gain, they actually don't work that way. So just a little something I want to point out, that if your heart is in the right place, this is a very easy way to get there.
Amazing, Jeffrey. Thank you for adding that. So here's what you're going to learn next. By the end of this masterclass, you're going to learn how to develop a calm mind and get clarity. The first rule of energy work is to deeply relax and enter a calm state of mind. Number 2, you're going to learn how to feel energy firsthand. You're going to feel your energy, your body's energy in this class. Third, you're going to learn how to use that energy to locate and remove your biggest block. Yes, you're going to learn how to use your own energy to heal a block that's preventing you from moving forward in life. And fourth, you're going to learn how to make a choice energetically. If you're facing a fork in the road, you're going to learn how to make the right choice using energy. Now, for those of you who go deeper in the Duality program, you're going to go way deeper. You're going to learn 20 times that. You're going to learn how to create a life better than you can possibly imagine, because your own imagination is faced with the limitations of your upbringing, of what you think is possible. But in the energy realm, so much more is possible. You're going to learn how to tune into your body, how to have this special relationship with your body so you are radiant, so you are healing. Third, you're going to feel confident that energy is real, so confident that you're applying energy work daily in your life. And fourth, you're going to learn how to tune in to guidance reliably. So you have this guiding voice helping you make the right decisions, guiding you even with what to do and what to say, just like how Jeffrey explained he listens to guidance in his stories. Jeffrey, let's get started.
Okay, great. Thanks, Vishen. So yeah, let's dive right in. So the first exercise that I want to do with you is helping you to calm the mind and get clarity. So go ahead and close your eyes right now. And You can use anytime. And the idea is to calm the mind, be present in the body, but also start to notice how much of your life are you living by other people's ideas or rules for you? And just very simply letting those go. Because if you want to create synchronicity in your life, you have to follow your path. Really important.
Now, I just want to add, for those of you who are experiencing this for the first time, we are doing our best to teach you these 4 techniques in this masterclass. But of course, time is a limitation. When you go deeper into the Duality program, Jeffrey really goes deep with you. And the nuances, the refinements are a lot more specific. But for now, don't worry about getting everything perfectly right. The main thing is, what did you feel? Pay attention to that. And with that, we go to step 2.
Yeah, that's perfect, Vishen. So in step 2, we're going to do exactly that. We're going to start to feel energy firsthand. So to start, you can do this with your eyes open or your eyes closed. And to start, I want you to just kind of stretch your hands like this. And what you're doing is you open your hands as you're actually activating your hand chakras, just a little energy center in the center of your hands. Okay, and then you can face your palms together like this. And then I want you to imagine that creative energy or light is coming into the top of your head. It's like a beam of light or inspiration coming down into your head. And you're going to feel it going down the back of your head, into your neck, down your arms, and out your hands. And as you do that, I want you to imagine a ball of energy building up between your palms. And I say imagine not because it's not real, but because your imagination lets you go beyond what you think is true, as you move into that space of energy. Just let that energy keep building, that ball between your hands. And notice what you feel. I tend to feel pressure. Many people feel tingling or heat. Some people even feel cold. Whatever you feel is just right for you. It may even just be a sense that something is there. And also notice, if you start thinking about how you're feeling, the ball actually tends to go away a little bit. So this is because when you activate your mind, it sort of drowns out your intuition, okay? So just take a deep breath again and smile. Smiling is a key tool for energy work. There you go. And just feel that energy ball building up between your palms. Okay, and I'm going to go directly into part 3 of the exercise here. I want you to remember that idea you had of how you want to grow, how you want to expand into a bigger you. And just keep playing with this energy ball. And when you think of that bigger you, what is your biggest worry or fear if it came true? So for me, if I changed careers to an energy healer way back when, I was afraid people would think I was crazy. You might be afraid if you manifest the relationship you want that that person won't like you as much as you like them. Whatever the fear is, don't take it too seriously. Just have a little amusement. Your fears always seem serious, but they're just energy. And right now, ask yourself, where is that fear or worry in my body? So right now, where is it? So I can feel mine a little bit on my right side and in my back. So for you, it might be in a chakra or anywhere in your body. And you're just going to take that energy ball and just move it into that place. Now, you don't have to know what you're doing. The energy knows what to do. Just move that energy ball to the place where that fear or worry was, and let the energy start clearing it away automatically. Very good. Little relief. And now remember that enthusiasm and excitement you had about that new you. And let that energy fill in this place in your body. So you're replacing your biggest worry or fear with your biggest passion and desire. Very good. And it can be that easy to do energy healing. Like I said, you don't actually need to know what to do. You just need to know what your intention is. And then one key element that might have slipped by there is you need to know, where was the energy? Where is it blocked? Notice I didn't ask you for details on why it can't happen or what your fears are and this detailed list. I just said, where is it? If you know where it is in your body, you can build up some energy and move it out, and then fill that space in with something that you want and what you desire. It's just that easy.
Jeffrey, that's really, really, really beautiful. And this technique is so useful to me right now because I've been facing some doubts on some big things I want to do. And it was so interesting when I moved the energy. It's almost as if I felt this doubt. I could almost see this doubt like a, like I felt like it was shaped like the block was shaped like a barbell in a gym. And it was like on my shoulder, like something heavy on my shoulder. And when I moved the energy ball there, I sort of felt like this barbell type block dissolve. Is that common? Is it common for our blocks to have a shape or a color or a feeling towards it?
Yeah, it actually is, Vishen. That's it's funny when you tune into energy like you were doing. You'll find that there's detail you didn't expect. For me, that always means I'm actually listening to my intuition. If my mind was making it up, I would get something I expected, right? And it is common. So energy looks, it can have a shape, it can have a texture, it can have a feeling. Sometimes it'll have a temperature. And the trick is to just find where it is and just start to feel it move out. And like you said, Vishen, for you, you could feel it kind of dissolving. Sometimes it'll feel like it physically moves out. Sometimes it'll change color or temperature. Any way you feel it transforming, even if it's just a feeling like, I feel relief, I feel better. It doesn't really matter what the details are. That's one thing I love about energy work is it really is so simple. And the more you practice, the more clarity you get, and the deeper the feelings get, and the more and more real it becomes for you.
So let's do a quick recap at this point. Okay, so exercise 1 was in getting clear and setting your intention. You get into a relaxed state and you get clear and you listen to what that greater intention is. Exercise 2 is activating the energy. You start feeling the energy. Step 3 is identifying what is that block that's preventing you from moving towards your clear vision for yourself and moving that energy to dissolve the block. Did I summarize that okay, Jeffrey?
Yeah, that's great, Vishen. Yeah, the thing I would add is in step 1, you're really looking at moving out other people's ideas. That's how you find the clarity. Because when you tune into just your energy, suddenly everything is clear. If you're feeling a little confused, it's because you're listening to somebody else's information. Your information is not confusing for you.
Right, that's a key nuance. I love that every time I learn from you, I learn a tiny, subtle nuance. This is one of the reasons why there are so many practicing clairvoyants or energy healers who take the Duality program and they say it takes their practice to the next level. It's because of all of these little nuances and pieces that come together. Let's go to step 4.
For step 4, we're going to explore the different energy potentials in front of you and help you choose which is the right one for you and send energy down that potential to light the way for you. This one's really fun. So go ahead and close your eyes. And remember that peaceful space in the center of your head. Remember yourself being grounded and present in your body right here and right now. And remember that idea of what you want to move toward in the future. Just feel that passion, enthusiasm for this change. And in your mind's eye, just visualize yourself moving down a road that's leading you toward this future. And imagine you come to a fork in the road, and you need to make a choice which way to go. If you have a little anxiety about this choice, send a little light to that anxiety, let it release, just like you did before. And then energetically, let yourself begin to move down the first choice, the first path in that fork in the road. And without any preconceived notions, just notice, how does it feel? What's happening down this road? Might notice the sights or sounds, people that are with you. But most importantly, notice how you feel. Does this path feel like a happy path for you? and send it down the path that you choose to take. Lighting your way, clearing any blocks, fears, or worries, and making that path very easy for you. Very good. And just smile. You can open your eyes. And just know that you've done everything you need to do in this moment to make that future a reality for you. So energetically, you've thrown a pass to yourself. You've thrown the ball to yourself, and just trust that that energy will come in. So sometime in the future, you'll notice, the opportunity is coming in that I had dreamed about, even if I didn't know the steps to take. And this is the exact sequence of steps that I go through anytime that I want to manifest change in my life. It's really this easy.
That was such an incredible lesson, Jeffrey. Reflect. What did you feel? I'll give you a moment to write down any insights or ideas that came to you. You can put down your pens right now, and let's do a quick recap. So, Jeffrey, do you want to take us through recap of step 1 to step 4?
Sure, yes. So step 1, what you're doing is you're getting clarity and setting your intention. And the way we did that was we went within, we got very present in our body. And this is really important because if you're just thinking, you tend to be floating out there and looking for answers outside of you. But your answers are inside you. So it's really important that you get in the body and very present. Also in that step 1, we moved out anybody else's energy. So the things you thought you should do or other people's ideas for you, all those good intentions other people have for you, you don't really need them. So you moved out that noise and suddenly, you got clarity on what do you want to create next, or what bigger you do you want to have in the world. In step 2, we started getting your energy moving. And we did this by creating an energy ball and running creative energy through your energy body out into your hands and into that ball of energy. Now, Vishen, you mentioned the nuances. So oftentimes I'll throw out some words like creative energy, and I don't tell you what it means. But hearing that, your spirit knows what to connect with and what to turn on. So that's one of the little nuances there. So you're running that creative energy, building up that ball of energy. And then part 3, we're looking at what are your worries? What are your fears? What could happen if your dreams came true? And then you notice not what is it or how do I fix it, but where is it? That's the important thing. And then you move that ball of energy into the place in your body where you're feeling that stuck energy, pain, or fear. As that moves out, you then remember your enthusiasm. You can smile and bring in that enthusiasm and passion for that change you want and feel that energy in. And this step is really important because you're replacing your biggest fear, your biggest worry, with your biggest enthusiasm and passion. It's so powerful. The final step, we looked at how do we go and make a specific choice. So when you have a choice point in your life, I've got to go down this road or down this road. I've got to take this job or take the other job or take this relationship or that relationship, whatever the choice is for you. How do you navigate that energetically? And what you do is you just visualize trying each of those choices and feel how it feels for you. Keeping all those things we did before in mind, being present in your body, making sure that you're looking at what's right for you, not what other people want for you. And then clearing the fears, clearing the doubts, clearing the worries, and filling in with passion and joy. And if you do that down each path, you'll notice, it's really clear which one is right for me. Now, another little thing we did in step 4, which is really important, is you always want to open the door for new possibilities. Oftentimes, if you're feeling stuck, like I've got to make this choice and I don't know which way to go, it's because the answer is neither of them, right? And you need to open up for, is there another option, something I haven't thought of? And energetically, it's easy to see that. There's a little path opening up, travel down that, and oftentimes that'll be the door that I end up taking as sort of door number 3, path number 3. So those are the steps we went through. And like I said, this is the energy part of the equation. Once you've done this, the energy is moving toward your future, and you're ready to catch that ball you've thrown to yourself. And that's really step 5 that we didn't do here, is catching that ball when it comes in. And what I'd recommend between here, when you threw the ball, and there, when you're going to catch the ball, is practicing with your energy work. So get very proficient at listening to your energy, working with your energy. So when the moment comes and it's time to make that shift, the energy of the physical world is caught up with your intention, you're ready to step in to that brand new world. It's really important. I went from being an engineer, I was a software engineer for 15 years. And while I was doing that, I always had this side hobby of energy work and working on intuition and playing with energy. And it got to the point, at some point, where it felt like I had this division in me. Even though I was, by day, a software engineer and making my money that way and very successful, my heart was somewhere else. I wanted to change my life and become an energy healer full time, not just kind of as a little side gig. And a lot of us get to this place where we've got this division inside, where our actions and what we're doing day to day don't really line up with our passion. Even if we're successful in what we're doing, it doesn't quite feel right. I felt like I'm kind of wasting my potential. I'm kind of bored in this happy, successful life, and I didn't know how to get out of it. And I bet many people here feel that way. So I'd like to share a really amazing story of how I made that transition in my life.
Absolutely, Jeffrey. I love this story because this story, it's just so incredible. And for those of you listening, when you listen to this story, immediately, I want you to ask yourself, what if this type of connection to my energy body was available to me as well? Jeffrey, let's continue.
Great. Thanks, Vision. So if we go back to 2003, my main gig was a software engineer. And like I said, I had this division inside where I knew I wanted to do something else. And I was kind of lucky. I actually knew what it was. I knew it was something around energy work and intuition, although I didn't really know it was teaching. But I didn't know the steps. So what I did was I sat down energetically and I started clearing out everybody else's information and ideas about what I should do and what it would look like. And then I looked at what my fears were and started moving those out as well. And just working on this energy part, I got this really clear feeling that, oh, this can happen. This transition is going to happen in about 2 years. And at the time, even though it was not as soon as I wanted, I felt this huge relief inside, just knowing that the universe is going to bring what I want, and I don't even have to know how it's going to do it. So fast forward to 2005, it was New Year's, and I realized, oh, this is the year when I'm supposed to be transitioning, into this new career. But I haven't really done anything in the physical world yet. I wonder what's going to happen. In February, my boss came in and she said, we want to give you a promotion, but we can't give you any more money. So think about what you want and let us know. So I sat down the next day, again, tuned into the energy, which is what I always do. And I got really clearly, oh, take a week off and go visit your friend in Germany. I'm like, okay, that sounds fun. And I got asked for the entire month of May off, paid. And I thought, oh, she's never going to go for that. But I trust my guidance. I always listen and I follow it. It's actually a little harder to follow your guidance than it is to hear it. A lot of people get guidance and then don't follow through. But you'll find that if you do follow through, amazing things happen. So the next morning, I talked to my boss, told her these 2 things I wanted, and to my surprise, she said yes. I could take this vacation. I could have the entire month of May off. I was totally blown away. I never would have asked for that if I hadn't followed my guidance. So before I know it, I'm in Germany visiting my friend, enjoying myself, and I happen to bump into another friend, someone I'd taken clairvoyant training with and teachers training with. And she said she was living in Uganda, Africa, and she had a school where she was teaching intuition and energy healing. And she taught her students everything she knew, and she was kind of looking for some next steps. So she was asking me for next steps. We started talking, and then she mentioned, oh, by the way, I've got to go somewhere else for the month of May, and I need a substitute teacher to come in and run my school for that month. I just started smiling and I said, well, as it turns out, I happen to have the entire month of May off. Up until that point, I had no idea why I needed the month of May off or what I was going to do with it.
And Jeffrey, just to be clear, this intuition to be so specific and ask for May off that came to you while you were in meditation, listening to inner guidance.
Yes. My guidance comes like a voice, like I'm talking to my guides. So it's always very clear. Once I can get inside and kind of clear out the noise, it may take a little bit of time. All of a sudden, this voice is really clear and very specific for me. And I love that. I really trust that guidance, and it always delivers for me.
And so I noticed there's really a couple of unique things about your story. Number one, you were clearing away people's expectations of you. So that clearing is one tool that you teach. The second thing was listening to your inner guidance to such a degree that it can be specific and even tell you, take May off. A third thing is the occurrence of synchronicity. You bump into a person who specifically gives you an opportunity for May, synchronistic and coincidental.
Oh, yeah. It's so great the way synchronicities line up. And one thing I didn't mention is one thing I also do is I also clear my fears. So when something comes up like this, there's always a little fear, like my boss will think I'm crazy for asking for too much, or I won't get the promotion, or I don't know what I'll do. I'll be wasting my time in May. There's always a little bit of resistance and fear in the unknown, but I just clear that away energetically. And that's what creates that synchronicity and makes things turn out really nice. I'm always in the right place at the right time. So before we know it, it's May. I'm in Uganda. I'm teaching energy work and graduate clairvoyant work to people. And it was fantastic. And I was a little bit afraid when I went in that they were going to find out that I was really a software engineer, right? I felt like I was a software engineer kind of pretending to be this energy teacher, even though I had the credentials in the background. But by the end of the month, I'd seen such amazing results with all these students. I'd seen them make changes in their relationships. One woman got a new job offer while I was there. It was just all these amazing changes. And I realized, wow, this can be my life. If I can let this happen, this can be the life that I want. So I looked at my fears, kind of cleared them out, and I had this interesting insight. I realized, oh, maybe I'm actually an energy healer pretending to be an engineer. And that really shifted things for me. That gave me the insight to lean in and say, yes, I want this, I can do this. Again, I didn't know what steps to take next, but I knew that just clearing the energy would pave the way. So I went back to the States, and in August, I'm meditating in the morning like I always do, and I got this really clear insight, said, put your house on the market. And I thought, what? I don't want to put my house on the market. Where am I going to live? I just finished this renovation on my house, and I don't want to do that. But it's my guidance. I always listen, so I just kind of put it on the market. I listed it a little high, hoping it wouldn't sell. And a week later, I was headed down to Sedona to visit a friend. My first time there, and just driving down the canyon towards Sedona, it was really clear, oh, I'm moving here. I'm moving to Sedona. I don't know anything about it. I've never been here. And I don't even know why I'm going. But the feeling was so clear. That's how guidance is for me. And the next morning I'm meditating, did a little yoga, I'm meditating, and I just tuned in and asked, Sedona, why are you calling me here? Why am I going to move here? And this beautiful voice said, come here and be healed. And I thought, oh, wow, I'm sold. That's the best invitation I've ever had. Come here and be healed. So again, I looked at my fears, I cleared the energy out, and I did a little energy work on the house, right? So I cleared out, I just moved the energy where I was still hanging on and said, it's okay if it goes. And something amazing happened. Within 1 hour, I had a full price offer on my house. And by noon that day, we were under contract. And I couldn't believe it. I went home and I just had to go in and talk to my boss and say, hey, I'd like to cut back to half time, and I'd like to work from home, and home's going to be in Sedona. And again, I was afraid, I was going to get in trouble here. And she said, it's okay. We love you. We want you to follow your dreams. We're happy to have you half time if that's how much we can have you. And before I know it, a month later, I'm down in Sedona and I'm starting this new life for myself. And the interesting thing to me is that I didn't plan any of this. I didn't sit down and make a little plan which steps I needed to take. All I did was work on the energy until I had clarity. I said yes to the guidance that came in and followed it. And then I moved out my fears, and then I sent a little energy down those paths. And I'll show you how to do that in this masterclass today. So you can get try this for yourself and see how it works for you. Now, there's one more part of the story. When I got to Sedona, I thought, okay, now I'm here, but I don't know how to run a business. How am I going to get clients? And I'm tuning in and meditating. And my guide said, well, let's start with the financials. How much money do you want to make? I said, oh, okay. I'd like to make $100,000 a year. And I'd like to give 10% of that away. And it was really funny. My guide said, oh, that's actually 2 goals. And you can accomplish one of those goals right now by giving $10,000 away. This is the kind of guidance I get.
I love how specific your guides are and how optimistic they are.
Yeah, they're very specific. But the thing about listening to your guides is that they don't tell you what you want to hear. They tell you the truth, right? And it's scary to follow. But if you get in the habit of following, pretty soon you realize, okay, if I follow this guidance, my life is going to get better than I can imagine because I'm not using my brain to organize it. I'm getting something even better than I could do by myself. And that's what happened in this case. So I started negotiating and I said, okay, I don't really want to give away $10,000, but how about if I gave away 100 healings worth $100 each? That'd be like $10,000 worth. And they said, that's a good idea. And we recommend that you give away those healings to other healers. I'm like, okay, I can do that. They said, oh, and one more thing. We want you to make a website. And every time you give away a healing, just put a little picture and a little bio about that person on the website. Just kind of a free way to help them out and give them a little free advertising. I didn't think anything of it. I thought, sure, I can do that. So this 100 Healings project started up, and I was giving healings to healers in Sedona, and I was putting their bios online, and something really amazing happened. Google loved my website. So if you went into Google and you typed in Sedona massage, which I don't do massage, my website came up. Sedona acupuncture, my website came up. Sedona energy healing, my website came up. Basically any modality you could put in, my website would come up. And that website mostly focused on all these healers I was working on, but on the sidebar just had a little picture of me and told about my project. And people started coming to this site and saying, well, who's this guy that's giving all these healers healings? I want to go to this healer's healer. And that's what built my business. That got me to that $100,000 a year business. So they were totally right. If I just gave it away in the specific way, my other goal was achieved too. So really, really fun.
I love how your guides were so specific. They led you to your dream business, to your dream city with a strategy so specific. And what I'm excited about is the techniques you're about to teach us on how to get there. So I want you to stay tuned, guys. You're about to learn how to start bringing these methodologies into your life. Jeffrey?
So the final part of this transition between being an engineer to being a full-time healer was letting go of the job that I had half time. And this happened through synchronicity as well. I just had this intention that I put out that it resolve itself because honestly, once I started doing what I loved, I didn't want to spend 1 hour doing anything else, even though I was making money doing this half-time job. So I'm meditating one morning. I was actually looking for a used car because I was driving out to see a teacher in Mount Shasta a lot. And my guides told me, we want you to go look at the Prius. And I thought, that's a new car. I don't really want it. And they're saying, we want you to go look at the Prius. I said, okay, I'll go. So I went to look, and the dealer told me, oh, you can't test drive that car. You can't get it. They're sold out everywhere. And he was kind of a jerk about it. And I went home and I actually got a little bit frustrated. And I thought, I don't care if nobody in the state can get this car. That's not how I roll. If I want it, I can get it tomorrow. So this is my thinking. And I woke up in the morning, and again, I'm meditating. My guides are saying, you just need to expand your search. You need to look at the few cities that are close to you. So I call around. I start heading over to the nearest city. They've got 2 on the lot. By the time I get there, they've got a 3rd one. And the whole time I'm looking at the cars, my guides are saying, buy the car, buy the car, buy the car. Usually they're not quite this insistent. So I was a little bit shocked. I'm like, okay. And it's like, I don't want to spend this kind of money. I kind of want a used car. And they're like, don't worry about the money. Buy the car. I'm like, okay, am I going to go all in on this guidance thing and really just follow it, as far as I can go? And I thought, yes, I'm going to do it. So I said, okay, which car do I get? The bottom of the line or the top of the line? They said, which one do you want? I'm like, all right, if we're playing this game, I want the top of the line. So I buy the car. I finance the whole thing. I'm driving home. I'm feeling pretty good. And then the next morning when I'm meditating, I said to my guides, I need you to give a little more information. Like when you said, don't worry about the money, it sounded great. But now I'm a little worried about the money because I've got car payments. I didn't want that. And my guides said something that blew me away. They said, in 2 weeks, you're going to get laid off from your job. But because you're working half-time, you're going to get a half-time severance package. We want you to email your boss right now and tell her that you bought a car, you want to pay it off, and you want to go back up to full-time. I thought, okay, that's kind of interesting. And they said, she can't move you to full-time unless you have a reason, but now you have a legitimate reason. So I was like, okay. So I sent an email to my boss. Right away, she emailed back, said, okay, I'm making the change. And I tried to backpedal a little bit. I'm like, oh, I'm not sure because I don't really want to work full-time. And she said back, she just said, Jeff, let me make this change. Let me make this change. And I was like, okay, I'll just let her make the change. I actually went on vacation at that point for 2 weeks. And I called at the end of my vacation and I said, oh, I'm about to come back and start working, but because I'm out of vacation time, but I'd kind of like to spend a few more days out here. What do you think? Because I figured they're going to lay me off. My boss said, yeah, it's okay. Just take a few days off. Next day she calls me. She's sad to say that I'm getting laid off. And I was just so happy. I was like, thank you so much. And she said, nobody's ever said that when I laid him off before. And the remarkable thing was not that I got laid off, but when I got the severance package, it was twice as big as it would have been before when I was working half-time. That extra half paid for the car in full.
Wow.
My guides bought me a car.
That is insane. But I'm so glad you shared that story because it shows what is possible when you start living in duality. The coincidences, if you listen to Jeffrey's stories and you break them apart, there's so much there about guidance, about trusting your guides, about coincidences, about the future unfolding for you in such a magical way. Remember what I said at the start of this masterclass? And I love how you put it to me once. You said step 5 is really letting your dreams unfold naturally. Once you trust that you're taking care of the energy and you give the material world time to catch up, your dreams start unfolding naturally. And that is really what we mean by the true essence of spirituality is life becomes easy. And that is the Duality program. The Duality program is divided into 8 chapters. Each chapter goes deep into a skill of duality, of operating as a dualistic being in the physical world and the energetic world, until you get to a level where your dreams unfold naturally. Now, you may be wondering, what is the cost of this program? Well, if you were to go to a seminar of this type, you'd be paying close to $4,000 to $5,000. But because Mind Valley is the biggest company of its size, and because we have millions upon millions of fans, 20 million precisely, and hundreds of thousands of students, we're able to bring the price down. So if you scroll down below this masterclass, you will see just how much of a saving you're getting. And keep in mind, this saving is only on this page as a thank you for you watching this masterclass. If you close this page, you will not be able to get it for this same price. Now, Jeffrey, how many weeks does it take to get to this level?
So you could get through these 8 different chapters in 6 weeks. Some people take a little longer, maybe take another week or 2, but anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks is a very easy target to get through all of these.
Yes, it's a very deep program. And what I want to do is I want to invite you to dive into the program. Now, here's the best part. You can try it out 100% risk-free. So, Jeffrey, I don't think even you know this story, but a couple of years ago, it was about 2 years ago, I went to a shoe store in Santa Monica. And the shoe store, I won't give the name of the store because I don't want to distract anyone, but it sells some of the highest quality shoes in the world. And because the shoes are such high quality, the store basically says, pick any pair and use it for 2 weeks. You can wear it on your feet. You can wear it every day. You can spend hours in these shoes. And anytime in 2 weeks, if you feel the shoe isn't right for you, come and return it. You don't even have to exchange it. You can just return it, get your full money back. So there's no way to lose in this, because you either end up with a great pair of shoes for life or a great pair of shoes for 2 weeks completely free. And I felt that great products, this was such a good promise. So we decided to do the same with Mindvalley. So on Mindvalley, you can enroll as a student in Duality. You can go through the entire program in 2 weeks. And at any point in 2 weeks, with one click, you can get your money back. It's a one-click refund. When you enroll in Mindvalley, you'll get a login and a password. You log in, and right at your account, you can click cancel, and boom, the money goes back to your bank account. You don't have to pick up the phone. You don't have to make a trip to a store. You don't have to even send an email. This way, if you want to really go deep in this, but you're not sure, you can try it out and go through the entire program in 2 weeks. Now, the program itself is meant to span 6 weeks because it's roughly 20 minutes a day. We stretch it out into 6 weeks in the form of what we call a quest. A quest is like a journey. And the reason it's stretched out over 6 to 8 weeks is because we want to give you 20 minutes of practice and wisdom every day and build up your skills. So ideally, you are doing all 8 parts once a week over 8 weeks. But again, you can go as fast as you want. And if you decide you just want to do it in 2 weeks and then click refund, so be it. All you got to do is enroll on this page. Directly below this masterclass video, you'll see all the full information on Duality. And all you got to do is click enroll. In addition to this beautiful risk-free opportunity, we're also giving you a special discount on this page. So you are saving considerably. Jeffrey, can you give us an idea of what you're going to be teaching in each of the 8 chapters of Duality?
Oh, you bet. You bet. So Duality is really fun because remember, I'm an engineer at heart too. So I got the opportunity to take all the information that I've learned and practiced in over 25 years of energy work and organize it in a way that you can go through step by step, even if you don't know anything about energy work. And you can get from the beginning all the way to the final stages. So in chapter 1, we look at getting present in the body. So what are the energy tools you can use to get very present in the moment, here and now? And what you'll find when you do that is you feel so much more alive and present in your life, and your relationships start to feel a little more vibrant too. I've had students actually tell me just this one tool they learned in the first chapter that their husband said, I don't know why, but all of a sudden you're so attractive. I'm just looking at you all the time. and she said, I think I know what it is. I think it's that tool that I learned in chapter 1 because she was being very present in your body. You tend to glow like that. And in chapter 2, we work on mental clarity. So we do a little bit of what you learned today and then take it to the next step. So how do you get that really calm mind so that you can tune in and hear your intuition well? And this is really important because most of us have a deep sense of intuition, but the noise is just drowning it out. So when you learn to calm the mind down, turn the analyzer down, this gets really, really clear. And it just feels good. Also feels good to be around you when you have a calm mind. In chapter 3, we work with circulating your energy. So if you're going to do energy work, you want to circulate more energy through the body. And this can be used to energize your body, to heal your body, or to create projects or create work that you want to do in the world. So basically, you're going to have more energy to work with. It's pretty cool. In chapter 4, we look at something a little bit unusual. So in 4, what we're looking at is empathy. So a lot of times people feel that they're very sensitive to the world around them. Either they're getting kind of stepped on like a doormat, or they just feel uncomfortable being in certain social situations. Now, if you're one of these people, you're going to love chapter 4 because you learn to create energetic boundaries that are very clear and that people can sense and respect without you even saying a word. This chapter on empathy is so amazing. So you don't feel like you're kind of an energy sponge. You don't feel like you have to be a prickly pear to keep everybody away. You can find that really soft spot in the middle where you're approachable and you're comfortable. So personal boundaries are so, so important. In chapter 5, we start looking in detail at the energy body. So we're looking in particular at the chakras. So what do the chakras do? And more importantly, how do you use them in your life? So a lot of times when people learn about chakras, they're learning this kind of esoteric or historical perspective, which is fun, but I like to look at the functional part. So how can I use my chakras to communicate with people better? Because when you meet somebody, your chakras are talking. It's more powerful than body language, this chakra talk. And when you learn how to use it, you'll be surprised at how fun your conversations are, how much deeper they get, and you'll know when to kind of wrap up in a good timing too. We'll also look at, in the chakras chapter, we also look at manifesting. So it turns out that energy manifests down through the chakras. If you have a little block in one of the chakras, that's the place where you're always going to get stuck, where you almost create what you want, but don't quite get there. If you've had that feeling over and over, like, oh, I'm at this place again where it almost happened, but it didn't quite happen, we'll address that in chapter 5. We'll find where is that block in the chakra, and we'll help you move it out. Now, in chapter 6, it's kind of interesting. So there, what we're looking at is your belief system, and in particular, the energy of your beliefs. So again, I always work on the energy side. So where are your beliefs stored energetically in your body? And the reason this is powerful is you don't actually have to know what the beliefs are. You can just notice, where are the ones that are holding me back, and then start to move them out energetically. It's really powerful. And this is how you make major paradigm shifts in your life and in your world, is working on the beliefs energetically and just moving them out. This is the fastest way I know to create a big change in your life. Chapter 7, we're going to actually use all the different tools that you've learned so far and use them to amp up your intuition. So I always like to say that people are already using their intuition. You have intuition, everybody has intuition, but a lot of times it feels like it's kind of quiet, or you can't quite get it, or you feel uncertain. And you can use all the energy tools that I teach in Duality to actually turn that up so that it feels much more clear and your guidance just feels like a normal part of your life. I really love this chapter. And then chapter 8 is where we wrap it up. And this one's kind of fun because one thing that's a little different about Duality is I'm teaching energy work from a very functional perspective. And actually I have Vishnu to thank for this, because Vishnu was the person that said, these energy tools are really exciting, but why do people want to use them? How is it going to help in their life? Where are they going to apply it? Right? He helped me ground this teaching into the here and now and what people really want in their lives. So Duality goes from this very functional perspective through the energy tools. But as you do that, something is going to happen inside you. As you apply these energy techniques, you're going to notice, I must be a little bit different than I thought I was. I thought I was just a person doing things in the physical world, but seems like I have these extra superpowers I didn't know about. And so this kind of light bulb goes on, and you want to know, who am I really as a spirit? So that's where we go in chapter 8. We look at connecting with your higher self so you can embody that higher you. We also do exercises for connecting with your higher guidance and your spirit guides. So if you'd like the stories I told where my spirit guides are giving me specific information, I teach you how to do that in chapter 8. Now, it might take a little practice to get as clear as I am with it, but these are the same tools and the same techniques that I used. I just put in the time to make it happen and develop my expertise. So those are the 8 chapters that we go through in the Duality training.
Geoffrey, thank you for sharing that. So as you can see, this is a really deep program. It goes deep into energy work. The total length of the program is 14 hours, which is why we suggest you do it over 8 weeks. And it's designed using the unique Mind Valley Quest methodology, which is a learning model which is so effective. And this is why we have 15,000 case studies. It's because we layer on new beliefs, new habits, new opportunities for growth, new ideas, new practices, day by day by day by day by day for over 2 months. And at the end of that period, you literally emerge as a new you. And remember, if you're wondering if it's worth it, try it out. Duality and the entire Mind Valley platform for 2 weeks completely risk-free. And at any point, if you feel this isn't for you, with one click, just refund yourself. You can even complete several weeks of the program and still refund yourself. It doesn't matter. Just like that amazing story of that incredible shoe company in Santa Monica, we believe in the quality of this product, and we know that the vast majority of people, once they dive deep, their life changes so much, they want to go deeper in this work and truly make it part of their life. If you've loved what you've learned thus far, I want to invite you to go deeper with us and enroll in the full Duality program. The full Duality program is an 8-week program, just a few minutes every day, but 8 weeks that gives you everything you need to be a master of energy work, to bring energy work into your daily life. When you enroll in Duality, there's also a series of custom bonuses that you're going to get just for enrolling on this page. The first is an energy healing start guide. This is a guide for those of you who want to dive straight into energy healing. There's a second bonus by Jeffrey, which is called Healing Negative Emotions During a Period of Growth. As we go through growth, negative emotions sometimes come up. This is an opportunity for us to address these emotions so we can transcend them and step into a new vision for ourselves. This bonus helps you with that. The third bonus is clearing energy blocks. It goes deeper in clearing whatever blocks are preventing you from greater abundance of money, abundance of health, abundance of love, and abundance in all areas of your life. But that's not where it ends. When you become a Mindvalley member, it's not just Jeffrey Allen's Duality that's open for you. All our programs are open to you. Here's the recommended flow that we suggest if you want to go deep into mastering the art of energy. Start with Duality. And when you're done with Duality, you might want to dive into Jeffrey's second program called Unlocking Transcendence. Jeffrey, could you give us a quick idea of what Unlocking Transcendence is about?
Sure, Vishen. Yeah, Unlocking Transcendence is really fun. It takes a different approach than Duality does, and it takes you on a journey into yourself. So rather than learning about information and practicing different tools, you're going to go on a different journey every day. So I basically took all the amazing meditations that I've done, all the different visualizations that I know over the years, and I just put them all together and organized them step by step. So you're going to learn how to upgrade your physical body, mental body, emotional body, spiritual body, and have a bigger impact in the world. And it's just a really fun journey that's not about the mind, but all about your experience with energy and awareness.
It's next level. I love how you get us to meditate and then send our consciousness from our mind across the room to the other end of the room and project our consciousness to different areas. It's a remarkable program. It is basically, how for our physical body, we have a gym. For our spiritual body, it's Unlocking Transcendence. So you can do Duality. And like I said, it could take you, it's designed to go through in 8 weeks. Some people do it in 2 weeks. Some people do it in a weekend. It depends on how far you want to go. But when you're done with that, while you still have your membership, you can dive into Unlocking Transcendence. Now, some people decide to go into these programs. They decide to go deep into energy work for healing. If so, you want to dive into Donna Eden's Energy Medicine. Others want to go deep into energy work for relationships. Imagine you're the CEO of a company or you want to improve your love life. For this, they go into Donna Eden's Energies of Love. Others want to tap into higher intelligence for supreme guidance to move them towards their mission. For that, they might go into Michael Beckwith's program, Life Visioning. And likewise, there are programs on deep meditation, like the 6-phase meditation. There are programs on manifesting. There are programs on developing psychic ability, such as the Silva Ultramind system. There's a vast area of programs just in the spiritual field. But you don't have to stick to spirituality. You might decide after doing Duality to jump into a program on entrepreneurship, or a program on your physical body, or a program on improving your memory. All of the greatest programs in every genre of personal growth in the world are coming to Mindvalley. Mindvalley is sort of the Netflix of this entire industry. Not only can you attend live classes with everyone from celebrities like Matthew McConaughey and Priyanka Chopra to our teachers like Ken Wilber and Michael Beckwith and Sonia Choquette, but you as a Mindvalley member can create your own live class and post it in our app and invite other students to connect with you. And finally, you get the world's most advanced meditation tool. With Mindvalley's meditation tool, you have access to 300 meditations which are customizable. So while you're studying duality, if you decide there's an aspect of yourself that you want to heal or you want to grow into, you can find a meditation from leading experts, Bob Proctor, Marissa Peer, Sonia Choquette, and apply these meditations to elevate your life. All of this when you become a member. This is why many people say Mind Valley was one of the single greatest investments they ever spent in their life. And with that, I invite you to scroll down below, become a monthly member or an annual member. The best way to discover this is to dive in. And we've also arranged a special bonus surprise for you. When you become a member, we are going to invite you to a live call where a personal guide is going to get on a call with you and 5 to 10 other members. You're all going to get connected and you're going to learn how to use the platform. So we are going to be there directly in person, in real life with you to ensure that you are set up for an incredible journey. These orientation calls will be available for you and you can book your call as soon as you become a member. Jeffrey, any closing words?
Oh, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody for joining. It was my pleasure to share a little taste of energy work with you. And I hope that you keep going and working on your energy body. It's just such a fun and amazing way to live your life. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.